alcohol candles. Use an isopropyl alcohol, a cotton wick, which is basically some twine, basically cotton, and using pretty well 2 cans. One, I'm using a Cat's wet food can, and underneath I'm using a cut down, not the red one, that's just the lid, but this here one right here is a cut down from a soup can, and the soup can actually fits within the diameter of the cat food can with a little bit of a gap. But that gap is sealed because I've got the can cut evenly across, and this sits right on top. Put that out so this way it doesn't burn away. So this is what I got going on here. So I've got the wick, sits in the alcohol, and there's the alcohol that I've got in it. Not very much, just a little bit. And the wick sits in there. So I've basically just took a nail, a fishing nail, pushed through the bottom here in, and then I basically pushed the wicking, well, not so frayed of an end, and then I push that through and pull it through the other side, and I cut it to length. And there she go. So basically, I just used a very little bit out of this bottle. So there's where it's at right now. I've only used this little bit and I poured it in there. So that's the alcohol candle, using 2 tin cans with a hole, one with a hole in the top. And basically, like I says, you can refill it real easily. Just blow out the wick, or before all the alcohol gets used. It'll start crackling a bit when it starts running out. That's when you know when to blow it out. Remove the top, and we'll just put a little bit more alcohol in there. I've got enough in there. It'll last probably for about anywhere from like half an hour to I'd say about half an hour, maybe 45 minutes, just with that little bit, because I've already had this burning for about 15 minutes just to test it. Easy to relight, and that'll get a little bit of heat there. Yeah, right about there. I'm about good 6 inches above the flame. Yeah, so it puts out a pretty good flame. So if you really need a heat source, this comes in handy real easy. If you just got 2 cans and a wick in one of them already, you can put that into a thing, put a bottle of rubbing alcohol into your knapsack, and then wherever you go, you can just take and fill it up and light it whenever you need a light or a candle. All right, that's it for the alcohol candle. And the best part about having the lid that's underneath, which is basically just put under there, it's not actually going to do anything. It's not to protect the can underneath from heating up the table or anything, but I use it as a secondary just in case. I actually have that lid just for the fact that when I take and blow this out, I take that lid, and this way it prevents the alcohol from leaching out the wick. It'll basically fill up that lid. It'll have whatever type of bit, but it'll slow the leaching of the alcohol out of the can as I just kind of sit the can off the side. So I'll leave it like that, and that'll help it from leaching. All right, It's your alcohol candles. You can make a few of them. Like I say, you can take them backpacking, or even just use them in the house or in the garage or outdoors. Other than that, the other thing I wanted to mention is when I did the wick and I pushed it in, when I flipped the can over, the parts that were folded outwards, I bent them back inwards, nice and tight against the wick. So this way the wick doesn't slide up and down, but not just that, there's no gaps between the wick and the can. So alcohol has to come through the wick and not up out through the sides of the hole. So you want to make sure that that hole is fairly tight, that it basically has no holes, so when you actually pull it through and then you bend those pieces back, hold the can up to the light to see if you see any pinholes. If not, then you're good to go and you can use it. Alright, so that's it.